Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
When the freak terrorizes, wait till they get a load of me.
Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I am a filmmaker and a film critic. And welcome to my very first review of all the Batman and Superman movies. I am reviewing them all, leading up to this little film which is coming out in March. I believe you've heard of it. It's called Batman v Superman. Check it out. The trailer came out a couple days ago. It looks pretty cool, actually. Batman is a film directed by Tim Burton, and it stars Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. Jack Nicholson is not playing Batman, however. It is Michael Keaton. But it's interesting to know that Jack Nicholson gets top billing. His name appears before Michael Keaton in a film which is titled Batman. Just goes to show you how popular and powerful Jack Nicholson was back in 1989. This is so clearly a Tim Burton film. It's more of a Tim Burton film than it is a Batman film, but that's alright, as Tim Burton's style fits the Batman universe. It reminds me a lot of The Long Halloween's art and architecture. I don't know if The Long Halloween was printed before Batman came out, and let me know in the comments below if it did, and then go read The Long Halloween. That is my favorite Batman story. It is one of the best Batman stories like ever. It's not even a story, it's more like a saga. Go read The Long Halloween, you'll love it. But it also takes inspiration from The Killing Joke and The Dark Knight Returns. All three of those books I mentioned are all great Batman stories. You'll enjoy all of them. Go read them, seriously. This film does not waste any time with an origin of our main character, but it does have a very cool opening scene that takes place in an alley, and Batman shows up in an alley stopping a family from dying. Very, very cool stuff. Later on, he goes to stop some more thugs, more specifically Jack Napier, played by Jack Nicholson, Jack playing Jack, yeah, and he inadvertently creates his antagonist for the last hour of the film, the Joker. And it turns out that there's more behind Jack Napier than you know or believe. And it's shown to us in some great writing and reveals later on in the film. One of the many things I love about this film is on display 24/7. The set design, it is so fantastic. It's a great blend of miniatures, matte paintings, and actual sets. This is one of the greatest architectures in cinematic history, in my opinion, Tim Burton's Gotham. And the reason is because the city seems lively. It looks like actual people live there. There's one shot in the very beginning of this film, the very beginning when the credits are rolling. It's a great shot on the Z-axis of the film. You see all the towers in Gotham, and it's so obviously a matte painting, but there's effort to make it look real. All they did was put a little blinking light on the edge of the frame to make it look like the tower painted on that matte painting is real. Very, very cool stuff, and you can clearly see the effort Tim Burton put in making this film. Michael Keaton's great as Batman, but he's better as Bruce Wayne. In my opinion, he gets better as Batman in the second film. He exhibits the pain and the charisma of Bruce Wayne really well, and the relationship he has between Vicky Vale is purposeful. Its purpose is to show us the depth and duality that Bruce Wayne possesses. Since Vicky Vale gets to learn about his duality, so do we, the audience. As I said before, the writing on this film is very good when it comes to tying a lot of elements together. I love how theatrical this film is, and all of that can be attributed to Tim Burton. It's clear that he's having a lot of fun making this film. One of my favorite shots is when the bat plane flies up above the clouds and is silhouetted against the moon. It's just such an awesome and cool looking shot. And even all the stuff with the Joker, it's a very fun film, but it never betrays the tone of the story. I mean, look at that scene when the Joker is hand buzzing that guy and he electrocutes him and makes him into a skeleton. That should be funny, but it's not because of the dark and moody lighting in the scene and the set. It's funny to the Joker, but it's terrifying to us. Now, what I don't like about this film, the pacing. It clearly does not hold up in today's standards. The first hour, meaning the first two acts of this film, are all set up, and it's really slow. Not because I'm saying it's slow, but because everything which is secondary in this film, all the characters are really lame, such as Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Dent. They all lack personality. Even Alfred, he's reduced to being a servant rather than an ally in this film. What's funny is the throwaway characters in this film have more personality than the characters who should have personality. The news reporters, the people on the street, all of them are very cool, and that's very important to me in a superhero film. How are the people reacting to this? How are people reacting to having a vigilante in their city? That is so important in grounding the film for your audience. something the first Spider-Man film did flawlessly, and so did The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2. Some films shoehorn that subplot in, like The Avengers. You only get one shot of the people reacting to the Battle of New York. But the way it should be handled is that it should be a massive subplot, but it should be forgettable by the time you walk out of that theater. That is how it should be handled, and Batman and the first Spider-Man movie do this very, very well. Batman 1989 is a very good film, and it is a great version of Batman. I would not say definitive Batman, however. Even though I'm not as excited for Batman v Superman, I do believe we're going to get the definitive comic booky Batman. However, that shouldn't take anything away from this film. This film feels like it belongs in Batman Black and White. There are 4 volumes of this. I suggest you read them. They're basically short stories, and Tim Burton's Batman, because of its strained nature of story and story structure and how it ties everything up, it feels like it's a short story stretched out into a feature film. Nothing wrong with that because it works in this film. 4 out of 5 for Batman of 1989. Thank you so much for watching this review, people. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that free subscribe button if you're new to this channel. I would highly appreciate that. I hope everything is well on your side. Next movie, Batman Returns. And you get to see another cool t-shirt of mine. I have a big ass collection of Batman and Superman t-shirts. So you have that to look forward to as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and remember to love yourselves.